these are all items that were for FBA, but Amazon did not accept them. So this pile is now merchant fulfilled, and this pile is now for eBay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19 items they did not accept, plus these items as well they did not accept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 26 total items that Amazon did not accept for FBA. These ones are not worth selling on Amazon, on Merchant Fulfilled or eBay. So I'm gonna have to hold on to those until Amazon starts accepting everything. These are the 12 that were accepted. As you can see, there's one book, CDs, and some audiobooks. And these were no good for eBay or Merchant Fulfilled. So those aren't gonna work out. And then the 12 items that were accepted, average sales rank 450,000. Total buy cost $354, and net profit $124. So I'm going to send those in a small box, get them out of my life, and sell those on Amazon. Check out what I sold. 57 Vietnamese language DVDs. So let's see. Second annual Miss Vietnam USA 2005. A bunch of stuff I can't read because I don't read or speak Vietnamese, and I can't fit that in there. But anyway, a bunch of stuff. The Blood Sword 2. These are some of these. This one here, Paris by Night, is apparently a really famous live performance situation. I'm not sure. But anyway, this has been up for several months on eBay, and it sold for $34.99 plus shipping. So I'm happy with it. I figured it would sell eventually. When I put up lots of CD lots of Vietnamese language music, it always goes for good money. So I've sold, before I sold like 400 plus DVDs in a lot to someone in Houston, and that sold for a couple $100. So I always put this stuff together. If you come across Vietnamese language DVDs or CDs, I recommend lotting them up and putting them up on eBay. Some of them might be worth money individually too, but sometimes it's hard to look that stuff up. So good sale, good sale. Hey guys, it is Monday, April 20th, 2020, which, if you care at all, is 4/20/2020. If you don't care, then it's just another day. But anyway, if you do care, you're probably enjoying yourself today. So moving on. So I'm in my office, as you can tell, and I had a decent amount of sales over the weekend. Some Merchant Fulfilled and most eBay. So I wanted to share with you the two different sales. You'll see the difference between the two in terms of quantity and money. But let me share with you the items I sold. This was a variety of items, especially on eBay. And kind of my thinking behind them and that type of stuff. I did show you a clip, I believe, about one of the sales on eBay, but let me show you what I did. Merchant Fulfilled. I sold two items on Amazon Merchant Fulfilled. This is clearly a book, Gary Snyder, Mountains and Rivers Without End. That one I listed fairly recently. Actually, yeah, I just listed that actually earlier last week. And this one's been up there for a while. This is Julio Iglesias. They didn't sell for very much money. I think one sold for $480. I think this sold for $480, and this one sold for $5 and change. So, you know, about $10 between the two. Not too much money in that, but you know, that's a lot of these items I'll list it for $10, and then the price will go down based on competition. Those are the Merchant Fulfilled sales. And also for context, I have over 300 items listed on Amazon Merchant Fulfilled. I don't know if I think it's low 300s, but over 300. And a fair amount of those are older items. I should probably go through with a fine-tooth comb and see if there's items I should pluck out. And if I can sell it locally at my sale, then I can do that, or I can put it in an eBay lot, otherwise get rid of it. Some that have been up there for 2-3 years, maybe more. A lot of CDs that I have. I've done this before. I think maybe in the last year or so I went through them. I pulled out a lot of CDs that were just not worth keeping anymore. The price had tanked, or I haven't been up there for so long, and maybe the price went down as well. I didn't feel it was worth it to keep it. Wasn't much interest. Some of these CDs can creep up into the millions that their sales rank, which means they sold at some point. But you know, unless it's the price is, unless I'm the only person on the listing and I can have it at 30, 40, 50 bucks, and that's what somebody has to pay to get it. Otherwise, if the price is a little bit lower, it might not be worth keeping. So anyway, I'll find out. I'll look through those items at some point to see if I can clear some more stuff out. Let me share with you what I have on eBay. I already shared with you the DVD lot that I sold as a buy it now of Vietnamese language DVDs, a variety of them. So I highly recommend, if you come across a bunch, you know, a dozen or more, dozens of Vietnamese language DVDs or music CDs, that you put them together in lots, unless of course they're worth, unless you can look them up individually and find out if they're worth some more money individually. But otherwise, if you lot them together, they can do pretty well, especially music CDs. I've done pretty well. I did a few months back, I did one. It sold for like 40 or 50 bucks. I can't remember. It was like 20 or something CDs in there, and it was a lot of bidding, a lot of interest. So keep that in mind as a tip for the future. These are all the items that I sold on eBay individually. There's this one, a CD that has been up there for a long time, probably more than a year, if I were to hazard a guess. And it's Spitz, S-P-I-T-Z, Spitz Cycle. Anyway, so that one sold. I'll show you the prices in a second on the computer. This one I recently put up a few weeks ago, called Videos for Lovers 7, Behind the Bedroom Door. It's adult content and educational anyway. But that was a sealed DVD that I pulled out of a Gaylord recently. Listed that. And this one I listed for a few weeks ago, Lawrence Welk, God Bless America DVD. When I saw it at first, I wasn't sure if it would be worth anything, but things that are bizarre like that are different. I look them up, and that was worth some money. So that sold, and it was sealed too, so that's always good. This one I listed, I think last week. Eric Clapton, yes, last week. Crossroads 2 Live in the 70s. This is actually a 4-disc CD that normally goes for 20 bucks or more on eBay, but it was missing a disc, missing disc 2, so I have 1, 3, and 4, and I just indicate that in the title and in the description, and it sold for less, a little bit less than what the other ones sell for when they have all the discs. But keep in mind, one of the great things about eBay is if it's missing a disc, whether it's a CD set, a DVD set, it's usually worth it to look it up. If it's an item that is pretty popular, holds some value, to look it up and see if you can sell it minus a disc or two, sometimes even more than a disc missing, depending on what it is. And then of course you can always possibly sell them individually. I don't usually do that. I just say, oh, there's one disc missing, and people will still buy it, and then they'll try to find the other disc somewhere else. But you can make some money that way off of items. Ghostly Apparitions, this is a DVD for, usually for Halloween, but here in April someone bought it, maybe because they're stuck at home. So it puts like ghostly apparitions up on your TV screen, or you could, I guess, you could put it up on the wall with a projector. Someone bought that. This one I've talked about in another video. It's a John Deere Action DVD. I've sold other John Deere items, video games specifically, for good money. This one was up for a couple weeks. I pulled this out of one of those Gaylords that I have right now. And then this one I just listed this past week, at the end of last week, called 60s Gold Time Life Music. It's a 3 CD set. Whenever I see these sets, always look them up. If they're in really great condition, this one's got a little bit of a issue there. Look them up on Amazon first, of course, and see if those are worth money. If they're not worth it, then eBay is usually a good place to go for those items. This one is sealed. It's some sort of CD booklet called, from a company that was called The Stock Market. And I don't know if it's about the stock market. I assume so. And it's been listed since last year. It's been up there for sure. It's been a little while, probably in the last 6 months, I would think. Someone actually asked me how many discs are in here yesterday, and I said I didn't know because it's sealed and the packaging doesn't say, although it does say here, come and brainstorm with this new CD from the stock market. So there might only be one CD in there. But anyway, this is from probably the 90s. And because I tried to find the company and they weren't around anymore. And then this one is called Preparing and Presenting Powerful Programs. It is in one of those large plastic cases. Patricia Fripp. So this is 6 CDs. It's a program that was likely sold probably like the 90s, and it was probably at a live event that people attended, and then they sold these at the end, kind of a deal. It's possible it was sold online, but it's unlikely, and it was also could have been through some infomercial. But I find these types of programs all the time, like self-help or how to make money or powerful presentation programs, that type of thing. All different types of genres. I find these a lot in mixed media gaylords. When you come across these, whether it's CDs, whether it's audio cassettes, whether it's VHS tapes, whether it's DVDs, plus booklets and that type of thing, they're usually worth some money on eBay. So even if there's not another one on eBay, I would recommend putting this up because I don't think there was one of these on eBay. And even if you look at the solds and you use TerraPeak and you go back a year, you may or may not see one. If you see one or two or none even, it doesn't mean that it won't sell. So price those, definitely put a or better offer so that somebody can give you an offer for them. If there's not that many, price it a little high and see what happens. So let me show you what these items went for. So the gross sales for these 10 items, which includes the Vietnamese language DVD lot, was $206.69. That was since Saturday. So it's here Monday early afternoon, and that was since Saturday morning. Most of them sold Saturday and Sunday. And that includes shipping. So of course I will not make $206, but it's a good amount. And these items, most of these are newer items, but some are older. So the more I list on eBay, I've been listing more the last couple, 2 to 3 weeks, individual items. The more I list individual items on eBay, the more sales I get. So I've gone from like 3-4 weeks ago getting, if I was lucky, 1 or 2 individual eBay sales on the weekend to 10 this past weekend. One of those sold today, but the rest of them, 9 of them sold over the weekend. So it seems to be working where if I list even just 5 or 10 eBay items a day consistently throughout the week, then I seem to get more individual eBay sales. I have 460 or so individual items on eBay. Some of them I should pull off probably. I need to go through and see the ones that might not be worth it anymore. But anyway, I have a lot on there, and I'm adding more. So I'm getting a good combination of older stuff selling and newer stuff. This is the item that sold the most recently. This was that stock market one for $19.99. This one here for $15. Let me get that. This was the 3 CD box set from Time Life. I accepted offer of $15. I was fine with that. And then this is the $34.99 plus shipping, was for the Vietnamese language DVD lot, which has been up there for months, probably 3 months at least. Not too long considering. I knew it would sell because I've sold more of the other Vietnamese language DVD lots, so I had a good feeling about it. So that was some good money. Nice to just get it out of the warehouse, free up the space. This is 57 DVDs. This is the John Deere DVD, sold for a nice amount, $15.99. And then the Ghost Apparitions, $12.99. And then, what is that one? Oh, right. Eric Clapton sold for $14.99. So guys, that's $14.99 without or missing one of the discs. So nice money. You could easily pass on it and say, no, it's not worth it or whatever, but it's definitely worth it a lot of times. This is the Lawrence Welk DVD, $13.99. This was that program, the speaking program, I guess, the big one that I showed you for $13.49. Didn't sell for much money, but I'll still make a decent amount, you know, still make $7-8 or so, maybe more, as I have to ship it. And then, what is this one? Oh, right. This is the Video for Lovers DVD, $14.99, nice amount. And this last one, $24.40. Oh, right, that's for that CD, that Spitz CD, Spitz Cycle, I guess it's called. So anyway, so those were all the individual sales. With Amazon, when it came to FBA, one of my big things was, or big questions in the first couple of years was, how many items do I need to have in my inventory to make, you know, X amount of money, or how many to make X amount of sales on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And now I'm starting to, you know, try to figure that out with eBay, because I have 460 some odd items on eBay. And with Amazon, I found that when I hit the, sort of like the first big one for me was like about 500 items. And I was just starting to see 300 to 500 items FBA. And this was like 5 years ago, but I think it's similar still, even today, is when I got 300 to 500 items up there, I started to see more consistent sales, only having a couple items, unless they were just excellent items that were in high demand, they were selling quickly. You got to send in the right stuff. So if you're sending in quality stuff, I'd say about 300 to 500 items, you start to see consistent daily sales. You at least should get, you know, 1 to 3 to 5 sales a day, depending on what you're sending in, of course. If it's more long tail, not necessarily, but if it's quicker type stuff that's more popular, then you're more likely to see more sales. But when I really got over 1,000 items in inventory, 800, 1,000, but definitely 1,000 is when I really saw consistent, bigger sales numbers every day, where I was hitting 10 plus sales a day pretty consistently. And then when I got up to 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, I've had as many as 2,700 items in my Amazon inventory for FBA, which is small compared to bigger sellers. But for just doing it by yourself, it's a pretty big number. If I were to have that now, I mean, I could still hit that if I focused on it, but I'd be selling way more. But of course, getting over 1,000 items is sort of where I would recommend if you really want to see a decent amount of sales per day. So with eBay, I'm at 460 items. Now, granted, a lot of them are older, and I should probably reprice and or take off. I actually ran this past week a 12% off discount sale and sold some that way, some older stuff as well. But some of that older stock, I should probably pull off of eBay. I should have fresher stuff, listing more consistently, which is what I'm doing. I don't like the idea of listing a ton a day or a ton a week, but just being consistent with it, and over time it builds up. So if I can do anywhere between like 30, 50, 60 new items a week on eBay, I'm pretty happy with that. If I can do, 150, 200 new items a month, because I'm doing other stuff. I'm not just doing that, right? I'm doing the eBay lots. I'm organizing and sorting for my local sale. And of course, I'm putting stuff aside for Amazon. So it's not just individual eBay items. That's just something I'm putting into the mix to get that up and going, that part of my eBay income, to increase it basically. So I think if I double, which is going to take a while, but if I double my eBay inventory to like 800, because I can list up to 1,000 items per month free, buy it now items free, because I have I think it's a premium store. I pay like $80 a month, $79.99 or something like that. So if I can get up to 800 items, I mean, the closer I get to that, the more I'm going to sell. So that's kind of how it works with Amazon, right? The more you send in, the more you sell. So that means the more you have to send in to keep your inventory numbers up, which is what's happening now slowly as I'm building that up, and what will happen the more I list. So that's my thought process.
It's okay. No worries.
John, no, one more.
It is Tuesday morning, April 21st, 2020, and I have $40.84 worth of sales on eBay so far. I sold this lot of 2 Payo DVDs, $24.99. These are all the CDs that I pulled from this past Gaylord that are more common titles in a variety of genres. And now I'm going to put those CDs into their respective genres, see how many CD lots I can put together and sell in the next week. Ready? Go. Okay, now go. Boom, just like that, I compiled 16 CD lots. Lickety split, no time at all. We've got country, we've got Chris Isaac, we've got Sinatra, we've got rock, we've got Phil Collins, classic rock, alt rock, hard rock, pop, R&B, Dixie Chicks, country, country, country. Just like that. That's all you got to do. Now I just got to weigh them and photograph them. Ready? I'm going to do it right now in 1 second. Go. Boom, just like that. Photographed, cataloged, wrote down, weighed, etc. All 16 CD lots for eBay. All of them. And I even took pictures of all of these individual items that I will be listing on eBay. See guys, reselling is super simple. Okay? All you do is subscribe to my channel, watch my videos, you'll make a ton of money. Seriously though, keep booking.